Good morning, Arizona sports fan family. How are we doing out here today on this, all right Monday morning, ladies and gentlemen, where we're here to have the Kliff Kingsbury watch, ladies and gentlemen. We've been waiting for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks for something to happen. And as of right now, the Arizona Cardinals almost kind of seems to be spitting in the face of the Arizona Cardinal fans right now because they all know what we want. It's obvious. It's been trending in Twitter for the last 2 to 3 weeks now that they know what we want as Cardinal fans. And it's so crazy to me that we're dealing with the waiting game and the stubbornness of Michael Bidwill at this very moment. Guys, we got a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you guys haven't done so already, smack the like button on this video. Subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content, definitely coming more your way for sure. So definitely subscribe it up and smack the like button on this video. It helps out the algorithm and helps out other people that are out there that are looking for a home, that want a quick free therapy session. This is the spot for them. So definitely smack up the like button if you can, or if you want to share out the video in your social media, your social platforms, that also helps out the reach as well. So if you guys can definitely do that favor for me, that would highly appreciate it. Let me give some big shout outs here to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Scooby-Doo, we got Anish, we got Chance, we got Jason, we got Jude, Eric, King J-Rock, Jesus. What's up, brothers? Hopefully everybody's having a good, fantastic Monday. Obviously, we're not celebrating a victory Monday, right? We haven't had one of those, which seems like forever. But I honestly do feel like even when we did have victory Mondays, it felt very far from victorious, at least in my mind, right? The Arizona Cardinals has been a tale of Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde type of team. We don't know who's coming out, right? We don't know who's going to be the team that we're going to see on that Sunday, Thursday, or Monday. We really don't. Now, we're going to dive right into, this whole conversation that we've been dealing with. Now, I think the majority of what we're going to be talking about, obviously, in this stream is going to be, what's going to happen with the Arizona Cardinals? Do you think it's going to be, happening today? Now, granted, right now it's 10:30, right? It's 10:30 Arizona time / Mountain time, at least at this very moment. So something could still happen, right? Like, I'm not trying to hold my breath because I know Michael Bidwill, right? I've been watching this team for many years, many years. And one thing I know about Michael Bidwill and the Bidwill family is that they're stubborn. They're stubborn. They are absolutely stubborn, and they don't want to admit faults. They don't want to admit that they're wrong. So deep down in my mind, obviously I want something to happen, right? I think I'm with most of the fan base that want something to happen. There might be one or two, maybe three, or okay, let's give it 3 or 4 comments in my reaction videos, especially in my reaction videos when I start talking about things like, oh my God, right? We got to start seeing changes. Of course, you have those few people that kind of chime in, right? Those 2 to 3 people that want to chime in and say, no, you're crazy. We don't need a rebuild. Mike, what are you talking about? Kliff is the guy. I don't know what are they smoking. I don't know what they drinking, but honestly, it's enough to make them very positive in their day-to-day life. And I might need some of that because honestly, right now, I had another very, very hard time sleeping yesterday as well. Just thinking about what can the Arizona Cardinals do to make this team just the least laughing stock of an organization right now, right? I don't know where to go from here, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're all just kind of in a situation where we know, right? We know, like, it's so funny, right? Like, we are not billionaires. Most of us probably aren't millionaires, right? And most of us probably aren't 100,000aires. But we know what's the problem with the Arizona Cardinals, right? I don't think we need to be paid millions and millions of dollars to know that something needs to change. Something needs to change within this organization. And I get it, right? Winning games is probably not for the best interest of the Arizona Cardinals, right? We have a lot of fans that are saying, Mike, why do you even want to win? We're not going to Super Bowl. I mean, I see where you're coming from there. I really do. But I think what I'm really kind of looking for is more just giving us some good vibes, giving us some good energy into 2023. Now, granted, yes, we have 5 games left, right? We have plenty of opportunities to get those good vibes, to get the good culture up and going. It's just, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening at all with Kliff Kingsbury. Like, it's wild to me. Now, I know that there's some people out there that come to the offensive or come to the defense, right, of Kliff Kingsbury, and that's fine, right? Do you? I mean, however you want to see it, I think there needs to be a change that happens. I truly think that there needs to be a change that happens with this Cardinal organization because, truth be told, here, ladies and gentlemen, we're just doing the same things over and over again and expecting a different result. Like, that's what it is. It's the definition of insanity is what the Arizona Cardinals are doing. We're doing the same things over and over and over again and expecting a different result. And it's crazy to me. We can still very well hear breaking news later on today. Now, if you guys don't know, last week we heard breaking news, right, with the whole Sean Kugler incident that happened. We heard that around like 2 p.m. That was like 2:30, maybe even 3 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So, like, just because we don't hear it in the morning doesn't mean we're not gonna hear it. So I'm still trying to hold hope that we're going to be able to make some changes right now. Obviously, when that happens, we need to hear who's going to be the interim coach. But as of right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're just kind of waiting, right? We're sitting ducks in the hands of our billionaire owner of the Arizona Cardinals and Michael Bidwell. So we'll kind of have to wait to see what happens here. Let's read into my first contribution of the day. We got my guy Jack coming up clutch. He says, I hope we get Will Anderson Jr. in the draft. My boys are already talking about the draft already. Yeah, I mean, dude, honestly, like, we're so close. We are so close to start talking about the draft at this very moment, ladies and gentlemen. We're so darn close to start talking about the draft at this very moment. Um, there's a lot of pieces, right, for the Cardinals to possibly, go the route of like getting some, some help in the trenches, outside linebackers, interior defensive pressure, stuff like that. I mean, I know we're very close to it, and I'm not trying to like hold hope to the fact where like, oh, we're gonna make the playoffs. I don't think we're gonna make the playoffs. Like, I don't think we're there, but I also do think that like holding on to Kliff Kingsbury is not the right decision to be made for the Arizona Cardinals because why? Like, why keep him? Unless truly Michael Bidwell feels like he's going to retain him next year. I mean, this is really the only reason why I can see keeping him. But like, the Arizona Cardinals need some sort of spark. The Arizona Cardinals need some sort of shift in momentum. They need something to make this team functionable. And as of right now, we have yet to see it. I mean, granted, yes, we had a very good game yesterday, right? I'm not going to sit here and try to negate the fact that the Arizona Cardinals probably should have won that game against the Chargers. We played a very darn good football game, right? And it almost seemed like a complimentary football game where we're like, damn, we're actually starting to look good now. And of course, because the big headline coming into there was we finally got DeAndre Hopkins. We finally got, Marquise Hollywood Brown together. And now we're going to start seeing the offense that we all truly deserve. And honestly, to me, although I do feel like they had a very good game, I don't think it was as explosive as that a lot of people, or at least the Cardinal organization, led it to believe, right? At least in my opinion, I don't think the Arizona Cardinals, what this big, strong push of a narrative that they were trying to push out there with the whole, Marquise Hollywood Brown and D-Hop being back on the same field, you're going to start seeing explosions. I don't think we 100% saw explosions. At least in my opinion, I think they both together had like 130 yards, maybe a little over, maybe a little less of 130 yards together. Obviously, DeAndre Hopkins had a touchdown, which was a really good touchdown and a really good catch as well. But like, I don't think like it was explosions, at least in my mind. Now, James Conner had a really good game. Obviously, he started the game with a fumble, which wasn't really good for the Arizona Cardinals, but toting the rock 25 times, it really helps out for James Conner to really get involved in this run game. And it's definitely something that we need for us to continue in order for everything to kind of open up. Now, yes, it is the first game, right? Marquise is barely coming back. They said he was going to be in a limited snap count, but I think we saw him actually out there a lot. Which is cool. I mean, I had no beef with that, but I mean, I wouldn't say explosions, right? I wasn't 100% sold. Maybe, the not next week, obviously, because we have our bye week, but the following week against the Patriots, we're maybe going to start seeing some passes down the field, right? Now, we're also going to talk about Kyler Murray and like what the heck is going on with K1 because K1 has regressed, right? It's obvious that K1's has regressed from last year. So we're definitely going to talk about that a little later on in the stream. And I want to get your guys' opinion on that for sure. Let me go ahead and get to my second contribution of the day. My guy Alex coming up clutch. He says, yo, Mike, want to hang out and watch 2015 Cardinals highlights with me? Love the videos, my guy. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much. Honestly, bro, a few streams back, I'm not going to lie to you. I actually, brought up the fact that I really missed that All or Nothing series from Amazon. That All or Nothing where, our 2015 Arizona Cardinals ended up going to made a deep playoff push, right? I miss that team. I truly do. BA had a level of accountability, but not only that, we had a very good quarterback in Carson Palmer. Clutch, right? Clutch as it can be. I don't think we had the best wide receiving core, but I mean, honestly, I think it was very functionable with Larry, Michael Floyd, Smokey, all that different stuff. So, I mean, I think that like, yes, I think I'm going to take you up on that offer because, man, I miss it. I miss it. Obviously, that season didn't turn out the way that we all wanted it to turn out, right? I mean, I still kind of play that whole situation back in my head when we lost against the Panthers and we see Larry Fitzgerald hunched over, right, in the locker room thinking like, man, this was it. This is his only opportunity for him to get a Lombardi, and it kind of got squandered away. So I'm still always replaying that back in my head over and over again, watching that that Hard Knocks that Hard Knocks episode. But yeah, I might have to do that because honestly, we need some positivity in our lives right now. And Michael Bidwell ain't doing anything or any favors for the Arizona Cardinals moving forward. Now, I was able to kind of catch a few segments of the morning show here pertaining to like the local radio stations here on 98.7, and they don't seem very optimistic that something's going to change. They don't seem very optimistic that something's going to change today. They don't seem optimistic about something's going to change at the end of the year, which is very concerning to me. I don't know how the Arizona Cardinals are going to be trying to run this back with the team that looks as bad as we do, right? I mean, obviously not last game. We looked really good. It just was an unfortunate thing that happened where they went for a 2-point and they converted it, right? I mean, we should have won that game. But I mean, even if we won that game, playoff hopes and chances would be it's gone, at least in my mind. But like, it's absolutely wild to me, y'all. It's wild to me. I don't get why the Arizona Cardinals aren't moving off of these two. I don't want to call them clowns, but these two guys that obviously don't need or they don't deserve to be in this spot. Now, obviously, the title of this video I ended up posting out was I ended up asking you guys, right, did Steve Keim save Kliff's job? Now, I want to elaborate on this here real quick because obviously when you're looking at this hindsight, you really don't know what I'm talking about, right? You're probably like, I hate Steve Keim, get rid of all of them. I'm right there with you, right? I've been on this boat for the last 2 years, and it's so hard to try to get, something accomplished with this organization when you have a stubborn boss or a stubborn owner. But here's my thought. Do you guys think that it's taking Kliff Kingsbury forever to possibly get fired because everybody knows deep down that if you fire Kliff, you have to fire Keim? together, right? They have to go in a bundle deal. So do you guys truly think that this is taking longer than we expected? Because obviously Kliff Kingsbury, Kyler Murray, and Steve Keim all seem to be in a package deal. Obviously, Kyler Murray isn't going, and I know there's some people in the chat saying, trade Kyler Murray. I don't think it's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I honestly don't. But focusing on Keim and Kliff, do you truly believe that because Michael Bidwill is so buddy-buddy with Steve Keim, that this is why this is taking as long as it's taking? Because of the idea of, if you get rid of Kliff, then all attention and all focus will be on Keim to always obviously get the boot as well. I mean, it's something to be said that we all know that Michael Bidwill and Steve Keim are buddy-buddy. We all know this, right? I don't think it's something where, like, you need a rocket scientist or Hard Knocks, a very edited Hard Knocks episode to know that their relationship with each other is almost nauseating. It's almost to the point of like, bruh, like, it's sickening, because this is the whole concept of you can't mix business and pleasure, or you can't mix family with business, right? Or whatever that saying is. Now, granted, they're not family members, but close buddies they seem to be. So I'm starting to think, and I don't want to think this way, but I'm starting to think right now that this is taking as long as it's taking because Michael Bidwill doesn't want to give the axe to Steve Keim. It might be something to be said that I don't know where Michael Bidwill's head is at this very moment. The Arizona Cardinals need to do something. I think it's obvious. How are we a 4-8 team right now, and we're not expecting to get any changes for our fans? Now, I get it, right? Sometimes the fans could be, a little dramatic, as myself, right? As myself, I understand that. But this is 4 years. This is not like we're sitting here in a second year of Kliff. This is the third year of Kliff. Sorry, fourth year of Kliff and fourth year of Keim. Oh, I'm sorry, crap. Sorry. Kliff and Kyler. So I don't get it. Like, I honestly don't truly understand why we haven't moved off of them yet. Now, this would have been the perfect spot to do so, right? I think we've seen multiple tweets come out there and saying NFL teams what they usually do is wait till the bye week, because this is the perfect opportunity to do so. If you are going to get an interim head coach, either Spencer Whipple, either Vance Joseph, whoever it is, get Larry Fitzgerald out of retirement, or, not retirement, but get him in, whoever you want to put in there. I think we just need a brand new voice. I think we need a brand new leadership. And I know, I get it. People don't want to be negative. People don't want to say things and call for people's jobs. I understand that. So let me go ahead and put my little 2 cents in there. Kliff Kingsbury might be the most wonderful person in the world. He seems like he gives back. He seems like he's a wonderful person. And I think deep down he is a great person. And I'm not attacking him personally. But as a head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, it ain't cutting it. He ain't cutting it. And I think that's what we need to come to as Arizona Cardinal fans, and the realization that this right here isn't working. Why continue to do the same things over and over and over and over again and expect a different result? Why? Is wild. Is absolutely wild. Now, as of right now, the Arizona Cardinals are sitting at the number 8th overall spot right now. The 8th overall spot in the 2023 NFL draft right now. And I know some of my subscribers in the chat right now are saying things like, "Oh boy, I'm thinking about the draft right now." Some subscribers are thinking about, "Oh boy, we should be drafting another quarterback." You guys think what you want to think, right? I'm not here to try to change your guys' mind, to change your narrative. Y'all cope the way you want to cope. Right now, the Arizona Cardinals are sitting 8th overall in the 2023 NFL draft spot. Now, granted, yes, we do have a not so good Monday Night Football game with losing teams playing this Monday. So there might be some implications, some changes that happens along the order. I mean, I guess it just depends on who wins. I mean, we'll have to wait. But as of right now, after the loss and after most of the games of Week 12, the Arizona Cardinals are sitting at the number 8th overall spot in the 2023 NFL Draft. And this is supposed to be our Super Bowl year. This right here is supposed to be our Super Bowl year. And instead of that, we just completely went the other way, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of being 8-4, we're a 4-8 team. And this was the perfect opportunity to do something, right? Because the NFC is so not that great. I mean, with the exception of the NFC East, man, they're playing very good football over there. And obviously, the Commanders are looking a lot better than heck we are. We might be the worst team in the NFC. I mean, obviously there's the Rams right there too, which definitely has a close second. So, we might be fighting for the worst spot in the NFC at this very moment, ladies and gentlemen. The truth of the nature here is that yes, we have the 8th overall spot right now, but how do we trust Keim to come back in here again and get us another linebacker? How are we going to trust Keim to come back in here and get us another 5'9" wide receiver? I don't trust Keim to give us anything this next offseason. And if truly the Arizona Cardinals truly did think in their minds that they knew this was going to happen, right? Like, they were just going to say, oh yeah, guys, we're going to be aggressive, and it didn't happen. Then shame on that Arizona Cardinal organization. Because if this is a rebuilding year for the Arizona Cardinals, that's absolutely BS. Because indeed, we peaked at 11 games last year. In the way that last year ended, I was not happy. There was fans out there that was calling me crazy. There was a lot of fans out there saying, Mike, we won 11 games. What are you pissed off about, Mike? We're doing the appropriate things step by step by step, Mike. What are you so pissed off about? We won 11 games. Here's the result, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the result of us winning 11 games. Giving contracts out, extensions to people that don't deserve the extensions. This is the result. All the fans that were excited about the 5, the 8, the 11. Here we go. It's called accountability. It's called do it again, Arizona Cardinals. It's not like, oh my God, we won 11 games. We're on top of the world. We shouldn't be talking about firing these people and holding them to a high level of standard. That's where I'm coming from. The days of, just a Super Bowl appearance, just a playoff appearance is not good enough for me. This expectations of this year was going to the playoffs and winning a playoff game. That's what the expectations were in this season for the Arizona Cardinal fans, or at least it should have been. But nah. We got some Cardinal fans out there that are just tripping right there. They said things like, oh my God, we play the Eagles tough. That's a step in the right direction. They said things like, oh my God, we finally beat the Panthers. That's a step in the right direction. Oh my God, we beat the Rams. Step in the right direction. This is the 4th year. This was supposed to be Super Bowl for the Arizona Cardinals. Or at least deep into the playoffs. And we're far from that. Let me get to my super chat here. My contribution from Drama1ER. What's up, buddy? He says, I'd trade Keim and Kliff for a bag of chips and Arizona. Yeah, I mean, here's the truth of the nature here, ladies and gentlemen. The Arizona Cardinals are the laughingstock of the NFL. They are. Everybody and their mother knows. Every fan base looks at the Arizona Cardinals and they say, you guys got to get rid of Kliff Kingsbury. I went to the game. I think up to 4 games this year so far. And I remember very specifically leaving the game. What game was it? I think it was the Eagles game, because I was so pissed off that I was leaving that game. There was a Buccaneers fan leaving this game, along with his wife that was a Cardinal fan. So she had a Cardinal gear, and then the Buccaneer husband, or at least boyfriend or whatever, he had a Bucs jersey on. He saw me kind of speeding away, being pissed off, my little angry walk. Try to get to my car, try not to get stuck in the parking lot. And everybody was talking about. He's like, boy, you guys need to get rid of that coach. That coach ain't doing nothing for you guys. There's no reason why we're as dysfunctional as you guys are. If it wasn't for the head coach, you need to get rid of him. Why is everybody out there, every other fan base is telling us the same things? Everybody is out there telling us the exact same thing that we already know. Or at least now we know, right? As fans, we know now. But everybody's telling that Kliff needs to go. And now we're waiting, right? Right now, we're 25 minutes into the stream in this Kliff Kingsbury watch, ladies and gentlemen. We are 25 minutes into the Kliff Kingsbury watch, and we have heard nothing from the Arizona Cardinal organization. That's a spit in the face to you guys as fans that truly care and spend your hard-earned money to watch them play every Sunday. And not only your money, your time away from your family, especially if your wives don't like football, like my wife. She doesn't like football. So spending time away from my family, and I get it, it's a personal choice, right? I'm not blaming the Arizona Cardinals for my choices. I'm just saying put a better product out on the field for your fans that truly care. That's all I'm saying. We absolutely regress. The spitting in the face from our Michael Bidwell that just bought a jet. This man just bought a jet. This man just bought a jet. And he's out here keeping, which obviously we know we shouldn't be keeping Kliff Kingsbury, let alone Steve Keim. Steve Keim should have been on the first plane gone when we left Minnesota. They should have been left there. Find your own Wayne Ho. Peace out. But no. No. I truly do believe if we don't hear anything today, we're not going to hear anything Tuesday or in the rest of the bye week. And I think that's a sad realization as Arizona Cardinal fans when everybody's clamoring about it. Kliff Kingsbury is trending on Twitter. And I get it. Twitter's Twitter, right? I mean, Michael Bidwell doesn't care. Billionaires don't care about Twitter. Okay, I get it. Whatever. But if your fans are out here saying things like we need to get rid of them, at least acknowledge the fact that the Arizona Cardinal fans are pissed. Let me go ahead and get to this contribution here. We got my guy Caleb coming up clutch. What's up, Caleb? He says, heartbreaking loss, but we needed it for Staley to keep his job and Kliff lose his. We knew Peyton would be watching Herbert and Kyler closely. It's a good call out. Very good call out. And here's the funny thing, man. Honestly, if Staley did lose, I truly do believe that the Chargers would highly consider getting rid of Staley. Facts. How long has Brandon Staley been the head coach in the Chargers? How long has it been? 2 years? Let me look it up here. When did Brandon Staley get hired? In 2020. Okay, so this is his third year, right? So 2020, 2021, 2022. Okay, so this is his third year. And they're already talking about replacing him, or at least the fans are already talking about replacing him, when our fans were out here last year talking about, like, oh my God, we're making the steps in the right direction, and we got crushed in the wild card game. Crushed. So this is the third year of Staley, and everybody's kind of clamoring about it. This is the fourth year of Kliff Kingsbury. We're sitting at 4-8. His team is at least 500. You know what I mean? The Chargers were 500 by the time they got into this game. Now they're 6-5. And then the Arizona Cardinals are sitting at 4-7 before this game, and now 4-8. And we're still sitting here like sitting ducks, sitting on our hands. It is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I'm constantly refreshing my Twitter. I'm hoping for Adam Schefter. I'm hoping for Ian Rappaport to come out here and save the day. Because as of right now, the Kliff Kingsbury watch is still happening. We all wanted for something to happen. And being that we're here right now, I don't know about this one, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about this one at all. I'm starting to truly feel like I posted on Twitter. It's official. Michael Bidwell hates us, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Bidwell hates us. Let's get to my guy RV. Davey, what's up, buddy? He says, why we leave seats empty. Show the own. Yeah, well, I mean, bro, I kid you not. So I went to the game, right? When you're watching the game on TV, it doesn't look like it's an empty stadium. Or if you do truly believe that it's an empty stadium, then okay, that's cool. But ladies and gentlemen, this stadium was empty. And I posted it on my Twitter and I let you guys know, man, there's some empty seats. It was 5 minutes before kickoff yesterday. And there was so many empty seats. Now, as the game went through, it started to fill in a little bit, but nowhere near to the fact where we're seeing Cardinal football on a Sunday. The people in the bottom row, they're probably as oblivious because they don't see the top. They can't see everything. But from the top where I'm at, you see everything. Obviously, not the bottom row. We can't see that, but everything. And boy, there was a lot of empty seats. So if that doesn't scream to Michael Bidwell that there's a serious issue, I don't know what else more we can do. Unless just stop showing up to the games in general. I mean, but we got the season ticket holders, right? I mean, such as myself, I'm a season ticket holder. I already bought my tickets. So, I mean, like, I can technically give them away. But, like, we still got people out here still buying tickets and still, buying this expensive butt popcorn, this expensive butt beer. I'm guilty of that. I'm not going to lie to you. But, man, y'all, something needs to happen here, man. And right now, I'm constantly refreshing it. Adam Schefter, please come to the aid. Ian Rappaport, please come to the aid right now. Because right now, man, this Arizona Cardinal team or organization needs some sort of lift. And we ain't getting it from our owner right now, ladies and gentlemen. We are not getting it from our owner. Let's live in this world real quick, Sean. I see you there, Sean. So my guy Sean asks this, and I want to get your guys' opinion on this. He says, what if Kliff and Keim are not fired and play out their extensions? Wonder home the fan base will wonder how the fan base will react. Well, yeah, let me ask you guys that question. What if Kliff and Keim don't get fired? Not this week, not next week, not even at the end of the year. What if they don't? And they try to sell you the narrative that we were injured. Y'all gonna buy it? Y'all gonna buy into that narrative? Because I remember yesterday, there was a reporter that asked Kliff Kingsbury, do you feel like your job is at stake? Do you have any concern that your job is at stake? And as stone cold as you possibly can be, Kliff Kingsbury said no. How? I don't understand how he doesn't even have a level of concernedness. No, I get it, right? He's not going to show concern. I get it. He's probably paid not to show concern. But there needs to be something that needs to be done. And it's wild to me right now that nothing's been completed so far. Let me get to my guy Caleb here right now with the super chat. He says this, we have a win now team. And if Peyton is looking for a Super Bowl in a short term, it's Kyler who's entering his prime year. D-Hop is 31 next year. Bro, and that's something, yeah, that's a good call out. We haven't even mentioned the fact that DeAndre Hopkins is aging, right? Because DeAndre Hopkins is still doing DeAndre Hopkins things. But you're right. We have a roster that's ready to play. That's ready to roll. Believe it or not, our offensive line held pretty decently yesterday. Now, granted, we played the Chargers, right? We didn't look really decent against the 49ers. I mean, that's for sure. Or at least compared. But, I mean, our offensive line is looking pretty decent. Decent. I'm not saying great. So, like, don't try to come after me. Sacks allowed? Yes, we only allowed one sack on Kyler. One sack. We had 3 penalties for 19 yards. Time of possession, we led that by a minute. First downs, we had 20 to their 22. On third down efficiency, we were 7 of 13. So a little over 50% converting it. It's wild. It's wild that we're here. But yeah, I agree. But that's the thing also too. I don't think Sean Payton's going to want to come into here and not expect a long contract. I do see what you're saying though. No, I 100% agree. But if Sean Payton were to come here, he's expecting at least a 5-year deal. At least, right? If you're a premier head coach like a Sean Payton, why would you accept anything less than a 5-year deal? Sean Payton's number doesn't go towards the cap. It's all pocketed, or it's all from Michael Bidwell's pocket. It doesn't hit the cap. This year and next year are the most cap friendly hits for Kyler Murray's contract. Let's take a look here at Kyler Murray's contract, or at least, inside those, third parties where we can kind of at least get a good idea, right? At least an idea. Let me get to my super chat here from a guy, MCK. He says he didn't get hired for being successful in the past, so no surprise he's not worried about losing his job for not. Oh, that's true. That's facts. That's absolutely factual right there, man. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's a good call out. So this is Kyler Murray's contract right now. And now keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is just based off a third-party website, but it's giving us a better understanding, right? So Kyler Murray's contract in 2022, which is this year, his cap hit is $12,600,000. Obviously, there's change, but I'm not going to get down to the detail. $12,600,000. That's what his cap hit is right now, this year. Next year, Kyler Murray's cap hit is $16 million and change. Do you know what it's going to be in 2024, in 2025, in 2026, and then 2027? Do y'all know? I'll let you know. In 2024, his cap hit is $51 million. In 2025, $45 million. In 2026, $55 million. In 2027, $43 million, ladies and gentlemen. So cap friendly would have been this year and next year. The most cap friendliest hits that we have from our quarterback. Because come 2024, if you don't think, Keim is good at drafting people, it's only going to get worse in 2024 when they decide to keep him, because this man can't draft worth a lick. In 2024 and beyond is where it really starts hurting the Arizona Cardinals and what they can do to build an actual roster. This year, $12 million and change. Next year, $16 million and change. And in 2024 and beyond, $51 million, $45 million, $55 million, $43 million in 2027. This was it. This was the time for the Arizona Cardinals to come out and make a push. And that's where my frustration comes from. And that's where my level of concern comes from as a fan. And I get it. There's so many fans that want me to so badly be positive. They're just like, Mike, stop being so negative. We're looking better. To me, this is what I start looking into, right? That's the type of stuff that really worries me and keeps me up. I don't even work for the Cardinals, and it keeps me up at night saying like, damn, how are we ever going to do anything of value when Keim can't draft worth a lick and Kyler Murray's contract really starts hurting us? That's where it starts hurting. That's where my frustration comes from. Because we don't take advantage of the times that we should be doing it. Let me get to my super sticker here from Serbian Sun Devil, coming up clutch with another big donation. Thank you so very much for the $20 donation. Appreciate that. Thanks a lot, Serbian. it's wild. Why we have fans that are so complacent worries me. But I guess I shouldn't put anything past it, right? Because that's why we are the Arizona Cardinals. This is why we are the Arizona Cardinals. Because, I mean, it starts with us too, right? It starts off with us. I know a lot of Cardinal fans that just turn off the Cardinals and just don't want to see it. Me? Nah, I want to be the thorn in the side of the Arizona Cardinals, right? I want to be that knife on the side and turning it. That's who I want to be. Obviously, metaphorically, not reality. I'm not trying to go out there and stab anybody. I'm not trying to say that. I'm trying to be the thorn on the side. That's what I'm trying to be. But ask yourself, 150 people in here right now, who is guilty of just when we had a terrible loss, they just want to turn it off. I don't want to hear anything about the Cardinals. They suck. I'm going to go fishing. I'm going to go take the boat out in a lake. I'm going to go take my kid on a walk. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to make a barbecue with my friends and we're going to, sing Kumbaya stuff, whatever. Ask yourself, has this happened to you? Because, I mean, that's the reality here of where we are as the Arizona Cardinal fan base, right? We don't give the accountability that this organization needs. It does. They absolutely need a kick in the bum. They do. Let me get to JK Gamer. He says, I was told to shut up when I was saying Keim and Kliff need to go. Bro, you're not alone, man. You're not alone. Go back. And I got receipts, right? I got receipts, ladies and gentlemen. Go back if you have time. If you don't, no worries. I guess take my word for it. Second year, when we lost 8-8 to backup quarterbacks back to back, I was already calling for Kliff's job. Year 3, when we got demolished in the wild card, calling for Kliff's job. Look at the comments that we're seeing in there with the people telling me like we're making the appropriate steps, Mike. Don't worry. It's fine. Because one day, the straw that's breaking the camel's back is going to come right under us. It's the rug that pulls people. It's going to happen. We're the Arizona Cardinals. Sometimes people forget that we're the Arizona Cardinals. They somehow want to believe that we're a team with great culture that are going to stay consistent for years and years and years. That doesn't happen here. And if you truly believe that, then you probably haven't been a fan of the Arizona Cardinals for very long. Because it's exactly what happens to us year in and year out. We exceed in a 2-year window, and then we rebuild for about 2 or 3, 4 years. Like that every single time. And we accept it as Cardinal fans. We talk about progress. That's what we talk about. That's the progress in the right direction. There you go. There you go, young boy. Progress in the right direction when other fan bases come out here and hire a McFleur and go into the playoffs in year 1, or hire a Sean McVay and get 9 wins in year 1, or hire any other head coach and go to the playoffs in year 1. Isn't this either the first or second year of the Vikings head coach? Already looking like probably one of the top teams in the NFC. Because we accept it. We lay down. Bent over a barrel, ladies and gentlemen. This is us. This is us right now. This is Cardinal fans in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know what to do, and nobody can save us here at this very moment, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Arizona Cardinal fans in a nutshell. We've given up. We've given up on life, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to Trevor here. Trevor, super chat, appreciate you. He says, Kliff and Keim are begging not to be fired right now. I hope so. I mean, I sure as heck hope so. I mean, I'm only assuming, ladies and gentlemen, right? I'm not in the office, but I'm only assuming that maybe around 10 a.m. they have a meeting, right? Coaches, GMs, they have a meeting with the owner, maybe, right? There was rumors, or there was like a report that came out that said Michael Bidwell's very hands-on, right? Michael Bidwell's very, very hands-on with exactly what happened, what went wrong, that type of stuff. That's what we heard, right? Vance Joseph said that he's been to multiple organizations that they do that over there as well. So, hey, it's not that big of a deal, right? But they need to be talking about it, right? At least at 10 a.m., maybe if they want to have a later start, maybe 11 a.m., maybe even 12. One thing that we do know for sure is that we are going to be hearing from Kliff Kingsbury later on today. I believe it's around 1 o'clock, 1 to 2. If we hear from Kliff Kingsbury today, it's done. It's cooked. Or actually, maybe not because it's a bye week. Never mind. It's a bye week. So, yeah, that's true. Maybe the bye week extends it. You know what I mean? But we still need to hear from our owner, right? Our owner, Michael Bidwell, and what they're going to be doing moving forward. Because as of right now, the Kliff Kingsbury watch has been far from extravagant. This Arizona Cardinal team needs changes, and we're doing nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let me go ahead and get to my super chat here real quick. Caleb coming up clutch with another super chat. He says K1 played with his best. I can't speak. K1 played best with Reese's football. You think Peyton would change that or play to Kyler's strengths the same way that he did with Breeze? Honestly, I think he would play to the strengths of Kyler, but also with the level of this is what we're going to do, if that makes sense. So I think it's going to be an equal ground, the best of both worlds type of thing. That's what I truly believe. I think we're going to show accountability. I think there's going to be a level of leadership. The young, impressionable, I'm not going to say kids, but young adults that are in that locker room are going to see a Sean Payton and they're going to be like, oh my God, this man won a Super Bowl. Oh my God, this guy won. I'm going to listen to what he says. This guy knows what he's doing. And sometimes that's all you need. Because I've implored a lot of people to ask themselves this question. Take it back to your own job. I mean, if we have young kids in here, obviously you guys can't relate, but the adults that are in here that has had jobs, remember a time that you were in McDonald's, a burger flipper, or maybe you started off high school with a really good job, whatever, right? You worked your way really, really hard to get to a level that you were maybe going to be like in a team lead, a supervisor position. And then out of the blue, they hire somebody to be your manager. The guy that just comes off the street that's supposed to fix and change your day-to-day lives comes out of the blue when you've been working with this company for 2 to 3 years. How do you feel about that? Kind of the same way. Obviously, it's a little different, but it's kind of the same concept. Where if you truly don't believe what this manager is going to be, or you're pissed off that you didn't get in that role when you work so hard to work your way up, you start becoming a disgruntled employee, right? Start not showing up on time, not giving two craps about what your quota is for the week. It's kind of the same thing. You're still getting paid. Hey, you're a company. Kind of the same thing. You bring a coach in here that has done nothing in the NFL, has done nothing in college, has not won anything, and you bring him in here trying to help a culture get rebuilt. How are you going to bring culture if you've never done it? You bring a Sean Payton in, somebody who's done it before, then the young, impressionable eyes widen. Of course, you'll get some resistance, but for the most part, that's what he's paid to do, to be the leadership of that locker room. Hopefully that makes sense. Appreciate the super chat. Let me get to my guy Drama1ER1. He says, who are we kidding? They're probably got steak dinners after and Bidwell flew them home after. Shoot, I mean, you might be right, brother. You might be right, brother. Oh my goodness. Oh, here we go. This is me right now. This is my feeling right now, ladies and gentlemen. After this super chat, appreciate you, Drama. Thank you so very much. Obviously, for comedic purposes at this very moment, this is how I'm feeling right now as an Arizona Cardinal fan. I just can't fathom, ladies and gentlemen. I can't fathom why we're sitting in this position right now. Or actually, I do. The stubbornness. The stubbornness of who Michael Bidwell is. Because if we don't hear anything today, we're probably not going to hear anything. And if we don't do anything later on, like even at the end of the year, then man, this fan base is really going to get pissed off. But I do expect and I do truly hope that the Arizona Cardinal fan base can still keep with this narrative, right? That they don't allow this Arizona Cardinal organization to do what they've been trying to do to sell their tickets. Because honestly, ladies and gentlemen, if you really ask yourselves, the Arizona Cardinals made a trailer, and I get it. It's their job, right? Like their job is to buy ticket sales. That's their job. The Arizona Cardinals YouTube page ended up coming out with the trailer. Arizona Cardinals versus the LA Chargers, ladies and gentlemen. And the narrative was out there saying that Marquise Hollywood Brown was going to change everything, was going to change this offense for the best. Watch out, NFL. We got our healthy duo back. And we lost. I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you have money to spend on some Arizona Cardinal tickets, I would say save your money. I would say go to a Suns game. Heck, even go to a Coyotes game. If you have extra money to spend and you want to take your family on a day out, on a night out, spend your money on an organization that's winning. Spend your money on an organization that seems to care. Because right now, the Arizona Cardinals organization, including Michael Bidwell, seem to be far from caring about their fan base. And it's sad. It's absolutely sad that we're here right now. Right now, 11:21 a.m. AZ/Mountain Time, and we've heard nothing. Nothing but crickets. Nothing but crickets. And it's an absolutely sad thing to see, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get to Caleb here with another super chat. He says, I would pay for Kliff and Keim's U-Haul truck. Bro, I think they got a deal right now, $19.99 this weekend. You watch that Hard Knocks episode? Kliff doesn't have very much furniture. We get him that $19.99 U-Haul truck. I'll put $5 in there for you. I'll help you out. I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. It's where we are, man. It's where we are as an organization. And nothing's really ever going to change unless Michael Bidwell looks at himself. Just like my boy Anish. I see you there, Anish. I see you in the comments. Or at least I saw you a little earlier. Michael Bidwell needs to really kind of look himself in the mirror and say, hey, I'm not right. Hey, I effed up. Hey, this isn't what the Cardinal way should be. If we miss out on a Sean Payton because of the stubbornness of Michael Bidwell, boy. It's funny to see the comments on my reaction videos because I have a lot of people coming from different, obviously not just Cardinal fans, but a lot of other, fans of different fan bases. And of course, that's the time when they can gloat and they can get really excited. Somebody said that they cared for my mental health, that I should look for another team. Somebody out here came out and said, hey, Mike, I honestly think you got to move on to a different team, brother. I'm worried about your mental health. Me and you both, man. Me and you both. I'm worried about my mental health as well. I just can't stop watching. It's like a freaking train wreck. It's a train wreck, and I can't stop watching this darn Arizona Cardinal team that can give two craps about us. They can give two craps about the fans, right? It's wild. It's wild. Let's get to M. N Broadcast says, Bidwell needs to pay Kliff and Keim more to motivate them to win. Bidwell needs to pay. I don't know about that. Like, honestly, like, to me, I get it, right? Like, a lot of players need to get extension or like they need to get like guaranteed money because you don't know what it's going to happen, right? For players, guaranteed money is very, very, it makes sense, right? They put their bodies on the line. It makes sense. For people like the GM and for people like head coaches, I feel like addendums need to be put on them. Oh, you're kidding. Okay, gotcha. All right, I see you. But yeah, I truly do believe that like addendums need to be put on them. Like if Michael Biddle was so smart, right, Mr. Billionaire, and now I'm going off of you, and bro, I'm not. This is not specifically towards you, but it just kind of opens up for conversation. But if Michael Biddle was really smart billionaire, he would have done something to protect himself, right? At least in my mind, if you don't win X amount of games, this extension is null and void. It's done. It's done. If he was so smart billionaire, right? He knows what he's doing. That's what he should have done. Talk about the homework addendum for Kyler Murray. You should have put an addendum on these two bozos for collecting money and all. And all Steve Keim is worried about is his relationship and his fandom with freaking what's his name Blake Shelton. That's all they want to do. Go to Blake Shelton concerts. That's all they care about. Just going to Blake Shelton concerts. Come on now. I mean, I get it. You guys do whatever you want to do on your own personal time, right? I mean, that's your personal time. You want to go to Blake Shelton concerts? That's cool. But you got an organization to run here, ladies and gentlemen, and you did nothing for this Cardinal organization. Nothing that would make us a better team from last year. Nothing. So, I mean, we're here, right? Here we are. What's up, King? What's up? King says money should be guaranteed for the dudes who put their lives on the line and shouldn't be guaranteed to a boom. Facts. Absolutely, King. 100%. I saw Zane that says facts, and I had to read what my boy King says here. You're right. Money should be guaranteed for the dudes who put their lives on the line and shouldn't be guaranteed to clown GMs and coaches who take zero risks to their bodies from their facts. Absolutely factual there, King. That's exactly what I was trying to say a little earlier. I see where players come from that they need guaranteed money. They put their lives. You never know when a big hit is going to take you out. And what happens? You have family, you have bills, you have a house to pay. You have children to feed. Absolutely factual. There should be absolutely no way in hell that guaranteed money should be going to absolute clowns like a GM and a coach who are replaceable. Somebody asked me a while ago, because I at one point I was like, hey, let's elevate Adrian Wilson. I feel like that's a good idea. And somebody said, well, what did Adrian Wilson do to deserve a GM spot? And I went back and said, well, what did Kliff Kingsbury do? I'm sorry, what did Steve Keim do to deserve a GM spot? Nothing. He was a scout. He worked his way up. Same thing as Adrian Wilson's doing. It's all opportunity. That's all it is. It's an opportunity. It's the way to see a vision of how you're going to build this team out. This organization, this team is being built in the vision of Steve Keim. In the 10 years that he has been in, do you know how many playoff wins Steve Keim has had? How many playoff wins has Steve Keim had since he's been the GM here in the Arizona Cardinals? You let me know, ladies and gentlemen. How many playoff wins has Steve Keim had as the GM of the Arizona Cardinals in his 10 years? Let me get to these super chats while I wait for your guys' response. MGO says, I don't think Kliff is going to be fired until the end of the season. It's too late. Just tank for the top 10 pick. Honestly, at this point, brother, I'm right there with you, man. Like I'm already starting to kind of see where we're at. Right now, we're sitting at the number 8th overall spot. 8th overall spot right now in the NFL draft. And I'm starting to maybe shift this content over to the Knicks free agents and the next draft class that we're starting to look. Let's start looking at what is it called? The draft, right? Let's start looking at the draft for sure. We got a super sticker here from my guy Sports PSP. Appreciate you for the super sticker, my guy. Thank you so very much. He has won one win. One win Steve Keim has had in 10 years, ladies and gentlemen. In 10 years, one win. Start asking yourself why we didn't say fire Kliff or fire Keim earlier. Ask yourself. ask yourself, because honestly, at this very moment, it's beyond me why this clown has had his uh, what am I trying to say? His job as long as he had it. It's wild to me. It's absolutely wild. Let me get to Caleb here says we should hold fire Kliff and Keim outside. Yeah, I'm down with that. Oh, I'm down with this. 110%. I am down with this in a heartbeat. So the only time that we won, so in 2014, we went to the wild card and we lost. In 2015, we won a playoff spot. We won once against the Green Bay Packers. That's when Larry Fitzgerald did his thing. So yes, that's when we won in 2015. Because in 2014, we lost in the wild card. In 2021, we lost in the wild card. Since Steve Keim has been the GM, he's had one, ladies and gentlemen, one measly win, playoff win for our Arizona Cardinals. And we still got some people out here saying things like, my God, give him some time. Mike, you're so harsh. Come on, Mike. Don't do the man like that. Why not? He's gotten us one win. It's wild. He doesn't need this position. He needs it. He shouldn't have it, is what I should be saying. Somebody explodes the dirty laundry. I'm right there with you. I think we should all put money together, right? Put money together and get a private investigator on Michael Bidwell. Let's see if we can get some dirty laundry on Michael Bidwell and see what we can expose. Because honestly, the day that he sells is going to be the happiest day in my life. But honestly, I don't think he's ever going to sell in my lifetime because they had this team for years. This was before his dad had it. So like it's something that it's been in their family. But our general manager, Steve Keim, in the 10 years that he's been in the NFL, has had one playoff win. 2015. Just one. Because if you look at it, it's a trend. It's a trend, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling y'all, in 2008, we made to the playoffs, right? Went to the Super Bowl, we lost. 2009, went to the playoffs, we lost. And then we had 4 years of rebuilding. 4 years. We were a 5-win team, 8-win team, 5-win team, 10-win team. And then 2014, went to the playoffs, lost. 2015, went to the playoffs, lost. So we had 2 years. Everything looked good, hunky-dory. And then we went rebuilding, and then rebuilding, and then rebuilding, and then rebuilding, and then rebuilding. And then we went 8-8. And now 11-6, and now we're at this very moment again. Like, why are we so confident that this Arizona Cardinal team is going to be able to fix it, especially in the eyes, right, of Steve Keim? Steve Keim has done nothing for this organization. Absolutely nothing for this organization. It's crazy. So the Kliff Kingsbury watch has gone absolutely dry, ladies and gentlemen. We have heard nothing from Ian Rappaport. We have heard nothing from Adam Schefter. Nothing here that is giving us any breaking news. Now, I'm still going to, hold hope and hold true to maybe later on today we'll get some sort of news about it. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Because if we don't hear anything today, I think we're as good as cooked. Because this would have been the perfect opportunity for Bidwell to pull the plug, to pull the rug under a Kliff Kingsbury and give somebody the opportunity to flourish. And as of right now, as Cardinal fans, all we can do and all we can pray for is the sweet time of the end of the season. As this little Cardinal friend right here, I'm feeling defeated, ladies and gentlemen. But let me know how you guys are feeling in the chat. We are going to be ending the Kliff Kingsbury watch, but I promise you guys this. If we do hear anything, we will do a video, and we most likely will be doing another live stream maybe later on in the day, maybe at 6 p.m., something like that. I'll keep you guys in the loop. All right, everybody. Thank you so very much. Have a great rest of your day. It's been a pleasure speaking to everybody. I think we capped out at like 170 people in here right now. So thank you, everybody, for coming through. If you guys haven't already smacked the like button, please do so right now. Smack the like button on this video and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. We are on the road to infinity, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate everybody for coming through. As always, have a great rest of your day and go Cards.